What's up guys, Kevin here, and this is the ROG Spatha. Yeah, badass name aside, it's actually the coolest mouse I've ever used, and everything from the RGB lighting to the futuristic charging dock makes this worth every penny. And damn, that's a lot of pennies. So first up, let's check out the box, because some of these accessories were actually very unexpected. Inside the hard shell carrying case, we find this dope vertical charging dock, a charging cable, a Torx screwdriver, 2 extra switches, and a couple pretty awesome ROG stickers. For a quick rundown of the specifications, here we find an 8200 DPI sensor and 12 programmable buttons, which can be all configured in the Asus Armory software. Personally, I think this software is way better than what Razer and Corsair have to offer, and it's a lot easier to use. Here, you can change the color, effects, and overall look of the LED zones, as well as the actual mouse polling rates. Perhaps the most useful feature of the mouse are the programmable buttons, which are found on the side, and they make this mouse excellent for MMO. So once configured, you can use these for on-the-fly quick command access, and even in your editing program. It's nice to see that Asus has finally nailed the software, because at this point, most gaming peripherals have all gotten so diverse that it really boils down to the ease of use and convenience. Speaking of convenience, I really like the wireless mode, and the pairing process was very simple. Once connected and in-game, the line between wire and wireless really seemed to have blurred, and unless you're playing competitively, the wireless polling rate will be just fine. I honestly cannot recommend this mouse to people with small hands because it is kind of on the larger side, and being heavier due to the magnesium alloy chassis, it's kind of a glide mouse rather than lifting and picking up. It's really not meant for competitive use, but if you have medium to large size hands, this will not be a problem at all. So as far as ergonomics go, I was actually very impressed with this mouse, and clicking the buttons on the side were surprisingly easy. I think what really distinguishes this mouse and gives it that $180 price tag is these swappable arm-on switches. So while this may sound a little bit complicated, all that you really have to do is grab that Torx screwdriver we talked about earlier and pop off all of the screws on the bottom, and while that's done, you can take off the top, and here you can see the exposed switches. So now with that off, you can pop off the switch, and what this does is really change the dampening of the sound and make the actuation point longer or shorter depending on which one you put on. Another addition that I mentioned before was the charging dock. While on the stand, this thing looks super stealthy and it can pretty much match any setup. Battery life on the Spatha was surprisingly good, but with the dock always handy and on my desk, I was always having it charged up overnight or even when I'm off the computer. While the LED zones are really cool, turning them off will actually help to preserve the battery life drastically. I think the Spatha is just an overall amazing performer, and it really comes down to if you can afford this on your budget. If you don't want to bite the bullet or just want something a bit more basic, another good option would be the Asus Gladius mouse, which is currently running on Amazon for $65, and again I'll have all these linked in the description below. Personally, I think this was a very good investment, and I'll be keeping it for the months to come. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what would you like to see reviewed next? I'll talk to you in the next video.